When I started at Alexander Haas, I was actually finishing up my undergraduate degree at Georgia State. Wasn't really thinking I was going to go to work in nonprofit work. I was thinking I was going to go to law school, actually. Decided after I graduated that I needed to take a little time off. I had been both working and going to school for several years and was feeling a little bit like just working might be a vacation. So I went to work at the consulting firm, doing all sorts of sort of entry-level stuff, but what launched me a little bit was I learned the computer system. And I was able to get information in and out of it effectively. And this is 1988, 89. So that wasn't a skill set that was being broadly taught to people my age back then. So that actually sort of gave me a step up and helped me not only to do well at the consulting firm, but then helped me to get my job at the Atlanta Union Mission as well. They were heavily computer driven, doing a lot of direct mail. So I think what I like most about my work, and I think what tends to attract people to this kind of work, is the outcomes of the work. We are helping nonprofit organizations to change people's lives every day. And although sometimes you have to really focus to see that in your day-to-day work, the reality is that everything we do, every successful campaign that we're involved with, impacts a lot of people at the end. So you can go home at the end of the day, and whether it was a good day or a bad day or how you're feeling, you can look back and know that you made the world a better place today. And not every job, it's not as easy to see that in every kind of job, but you can really see it here in the work that we do. The most challenging part of my job is making sure that we are delivering the highest quality of service to every single client every single day. Part of what we try to accomplish here is we want to be a partner with our clients, a true partner, not an outside consultant who they call when they have trouble, but a partner who they talk with every single day about the project that they're working on, and that every client is experiencing that, and that every client is getting the best work that we do, and that they feel like we're part of their team. Not an adjunct to the team, not an outside counselor, but really a go-to resource on their team. And my job is to really make sure that every client has that exact experience. In the next couple of years, somebody's going to unlock the secret to raising money with social media. Right now, there's one anomaly that's really worked, and that was the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. But ALS didn't even start it. It happened completely by accident, and if you ask them, they'll tell you they had nothing to do with it. But sooner or later, somebody's going to figure it out. How we use social media, where people are spending hours a day on social media, how we really use it to capitalize on philanthropy and drive donative behavior. But somebody's going to come up with a tool that allows us to use it more directly, and that's really going to impact the direction that giving is going. One of the trends that we see now is larger amounts of money being contributed, both on the macro level and micro level, by a smaller number of donors. So it seems that donors are giving more money or the same amount of money, but to fewer organizations. And that trend has been going on for several years now. I think if we can really tap into social media and figure out how to capitalize on that for philanthropic behavior, we can reverse that trend and begin to see the donor pools start to grow. So one of the books that has really shaped how I approach business and working at Alexander Haas is the E-Myth. And the thing to me that really resonated about that is building the company you want to be, not the company you are, from the very beginning. And we actually translate that with our clients a lot of times, because when we will do a development assessment and someone wants us to tell them what they could do differently or better or more efficiently, we will always take it an extra step and not just tell them what they can do tomorrow to be better, but try to project 3 to 5 years down the road and show them what they're going to need at that point in order to continue that kind of momentum, so that as they're working and doing the immediate improvements, they also have their eye on these down the road targets and know what they're going to need in the future and can be on the lookout for it. And that's the same it works the same in a nonprofit as it does in a for-profit business. If you structure the organization you want to be and then fill the slots as you need them, you'll build out a much more thoughtful, intentional organization and structure that will ultimately be more effective. One thing that not a lot of people know about me is that I play guitar. I also have several guitars that I built from scratch myself. I enjoy playing guitar. I don't play in public a lot, although for my 50th birthday, I hired a drummer and a bass player and a guitar player and dragged my teenage son along, and we played a 20-song set for about 60 people, completely unrehearsed. I had never met the drummer and the bass player until we got to the venue. We all had music on a stand, and we just flew without a net and did the best we could. It was a lot of fun. I don't think I have a career in it, but for one night, it worked out pretty well. It's really hard to say if one project or client is my favorite. It's like asking me to choose my favorite child. I would never say that out loud. But one that does really stick out as different and unique and special was Saving Sweetbriar. So this was a project where the college was going to close. The board of trustees had voted to close. A group of really passionate alums came together and formed a new entity called Saving Sweetbriar. They set out to raise enough money to keep the college open, which was a really daunting objective at that point. They had no staff, they had no infrastructure. When we started working with them, they didn't even have a 501c3 yet. So they were telling donors, we were telling donors, your gift may be tax deductible, we're really not sure. They ended up getting the 501c3. We worked with them for about 3 months on a pro bono basis, gave them office space here, set up a direct phone line that rang at one of our staff's desk, and they would answer it, Saving Sweetbriar, and really gave them a place to be, essentially. Provided fundraising counsel to them along the way. So at the end of that 3 months, they had raised almost $30 million in cash and pledges from their alumni base. It had come in gifts as large as $1 million and as small as $1.50 from all over the country. They were able to save the college and keep it open. They reached a deal with the previous board and president to keep the college open, appointed a new president, recruited a new board, and opened for school in September after supposedly going to close in June. It was really pretty remarkable. It's unique. It'll never happen again, I hope. And that's one of the reasons it stands out, is it was just so different from anything normal.